Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Tony Salger at the Lavender Project. And today I'm doing not really a special video, but more of a factual video. And it's all based on, well, you know his name, in the US, Slender Man. And his proper name is, in Germany, Der Ritter. Have you guys heard of that? No, you haven't. And also, before we get started, his real name is not Slender Man, but we'll talk about that later. Anyways, so you guys have all heard of Slender Man, right? Slender Man is a creepypasta. It's also a meme now. And basically, Slender Man is, well, he's kind of like a monster. People say that Slender Man doesn't exist. Some say he does. Well, there's no actual way to prove if he does exist or not unless you find the body of a Slender Man, which is pretty much impossible, since apparently they're supposed to be fourth-dimensional creatures. Now, let's get to that. Slender Man. A person who, or not person, but a being which is supposed to be very tall, as the name suggests, between 6 and 15 feet tall. And he is very skinny, also as the name suggests, slender. And basically, he can morph into anything that he wants to be. And also, apparently, he has another power. And his power is basically that he can have anyone who wants to see him, and anyone who he doesn't want to see him, well, not see him. It's not that he's invisible, but let's get to that. Now, the reason that he has these powers is apparently that Slender Man is supposed to be a fourth-dimensional being of some type. Now, he could either be that, or a demon, if you believe in demons. I personally believe in demons. However, I don't believe that he is what we call a demon. I believe that he could very well be a fourth-dimensional creature. Now, you guys probably ask, what the hell is a fourth-dimensional creature? Well, what is a fourth-dimensional creature? Lots of scientists have been studying the fourth dimension, and basically, even if you've seen Back to the Future, you should know some insight of the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is pretty much everything in the criteria that has to do with time and space. So, basically, you can say that Slender Man is a space and time traveler. Now, people are like, space travel, yeah, that's kind of impossible. I mean, it's kind of possible, we've done it before. To the moon, right? Well, time travel, now that's kind of weird. If you guys don't think time travel is possible, then you guys probably think, hey, Slender Man does not really exist. Now, as you see me in the darkness, you could probably say, oh, that's Slender Man right there. But, look, I'm a person. So, Slender Man, his actual name, well, his proper name anyways, according to even the Marble Hornets, who kind of discovered them on major film and turned their YouTube channel into, well, popular sensation, they actually refer to the Slender Man as the Operator, which is the proper name for the Slender Man. Now, who made up the name Slender Man? Well, no one really knows. But we're pretty sure that some weird guy just decided to make that name and it somehow got popular. Anyways, so, how was this Slender Man discovered? Well, let me think about that for a second. The Slender Man is a meme, as I said before, a creepypasta, and also an urban legend. Talk about the Slender Man was about, probably the first talk was maybe even thousands of years ago. In one of our previous videos that we did, we talked about how Slender Man could be relation to Egypt, because some hieroglyphics indicate in Egypt that Slender Man would have possibly been a real monster. Now, in the Egyptians' eyes, not a monster, but more of like a god, or in this case, a thief. In Egypt, Slender Man is known as the Thief of Cuck, and it says in the hieroglyphics that the Thief of Cuck is basically this demon-like god which eats children and kills them, and apparently steals their souls, which relates to the thief part of his name. So, that was about 3,000 years ago, BC, which is 5,000 years ago today. And that was a really long time ago. Now, major talk didn't start happening about Slender Man until about the 1600s. That's when they found out about him in Germany. Now, in Germany, they call him Der Ritter, as I've mentioned before. And, basically, the Germany version of Slender Man is not really a Slender Man, but instead, he is a skeleton monster with tentacles coming out of his back that knows how to use any weapon and defeats his enemies easily with mind control. Now, people are like, mind control, that seems like bullshit, right? Well, he's a fourth-dimensional creature. So, mind control is not all that impossible if you're a fourth-dimensional creature. Now, I have opened the Slenderman wiki right now, and the only reason I did that is because I remember some of Slenderman's traits, but not all of them. So let's go down here to abilities. Basically, it just talks about his abilities for a quick second, and the main page for Slenderman's abilities on wiki is called Ability of Slenderman. So basically, Slenderman has this ability, it's called Slender Walking. Basically, what Slender Walking is he teleports, and he basically follows you. And people who run away from Slenderman cannot get away with him, because he has logical and mental connections to the victim, and he will not stop following them unless he has them. And what do I mean by has? Well, people have said that he could be absorbing them, he could be killing them, eating them, taking them to an undisclosed location or dimension, and we don't know, and never will know, if that's true or not. We don't even know if Slenderman's real. But I'm still making this video because ever since June 2012, when Slenderman got popular with the hit game Slender, then everyone's been talking about him, and that's when he started becoming a meme, around that time. Now, Slenderman was first discovered on the Something Awful forums in 2009, and that was centered around some pictures where a single fire killed a bunch of children in a building in the 1980s. Now, if you guys haven't watched the Slender Suits documentary of Slenderman on YouTube, it talks about all of this in probably more detail than I have. But anyways, that's the one ability that he has, is Slender Walking, which is basically teleportation. He also has the ability of time travel, as I said before. In the 1700s, people report of something that is in the description of Slenderman with the powers that he did not change his form, but he's usually in formal clothing. And they said in the 1700s this thing was wearing more of like a kingly costume. Like, not a Victorian era, because that was in the 1800s. But more of like, older style, like George Washington clothing, let's say that. Also, Slenderman has the ability of camouflage. Now, why would he have to camouflage if he can just turn invisible? Well, that's what I'm saying. He could camouflage and also turn invisible. And as I said before, he could also change his shape and other stuff like that. He also has the power of mind control. Now, mind control is really controversial, because even some humans think that other humans, with enough power and enough, what's it called? Electromagnetic field, that's what it is, that you could actually control another person's mind. Now, people are like, that's bullshit, and I myself actually think that may be impossible, but nothing is certainly impossible for this Slender game. So, with Slender Guy over here, as I like to call him, he has the ability to mind control you. Now, why would he want to do that if he's following you? That's kind of creepy. Maybe he's just playing a game with you. I don't know. He also has a distinct relationship with small children between the ages of 0 and 17. Now, I don't know, no one knows really why Slenderman favors children over adults. But I'm guessing if he does, then maybe he doesn't kill them, if he does kill adults. Who knows? Let's see. Impersonation. He has the power of impersonating something else. He can impersonate person, he can impersonate a tree, especially since he's apparently supposed to be residing in forest areas. Now, when I mean forest areas, I mean anywhere that could have a certain number of trees where he can actually hide and be camouflaged. And sightings of him in the U.S. have stretched all the way from over here out in California, the West Coast, to all the way in New York and over there, in the East Coast. And that's just in the U.S. Sightings have also been in Germany, most of Europe, and besides most of Europe, that's pretty much it. I think there's been a couple sightings in Britain, too. Another power that Slenderman has, which is one of his most famous powers, is he has tentacles/limbs, which means he can grow out tentacles from his back, and he can grow out his limbs to unhuman lengths. Now, that's probably why he's between 6 and 15 feet tall, according to Wiki anyways. He could be taller, he could be shorter. He also has selective visibility, which I was talking about before. He could just make people not see him if he wants to, or he can make people see him. He doesn't really care. He also has the power of the element of fire. He can create fire from his bare hands. I don't know why that would be, maybe a weapon. And mutilation. He can mutilate and rip apart his enemies if he really wants to, really easily. He can also give you mental sickness. and this mental sickness relates to nausea, dizziness, vomiting, loss of sight, hearing, basic senses, and then, of course, you can also be just knocked out, and then you could die from it, actually. So this is all the reported abilities of Slender Man, and people are like, oh, well, that could be bullcrap, or that could be really cool, if he's real. Now, at the Lavender Project, we reserve judgment for all of this stuff, because it's very controversial, and we're doing these videos to not necessarily prove he's fake or real, but to just get it out there, especially for people who don't know. But who wouldn't know about Slender Man? If you're watching this video, and you see the word Slender Man, and you click on it, you obviously gonna know about Slender Man. And if you don't know about Slender Man, well, I suggest you watch the Marble Hornets. Now, we'll talk about the Marble Hornets on another video, but basically, the Marble Hornets is a YouTube channel that's dedicated to actually talking about the operator known as Slender Man. Not that they talk about it, but that in these videos, they actually capture what they think is the Slender Man himself, and what is going on with that kind of stuff. With the people, the filmmaker in the videos, his name is Alex, I believe. And Alex basically is documenting making his own film, and his own film is called The Marble Hornets. Now, weird name, but anyways, basically, he's being followed by the Slender Man, so he starts filming himself, and other things like that. Now, apparently, the Slender Man has been talked about for not too long now. Apparently only about 3 years, if I'm correct. Yes, 2009. Now, he's been talked about before, but not in the mass that he is today. And there's a reason, obviously the video games and everything, the memes, which came from the video game, I'm assuming. And so I just want to make a video on Slender Man, just basically telling you guys the facts about him and stuff like that. The Slender Man is highly controversial. Many people think he doesn't even exist. Many people don't even know that he's actually considered an urban legend and not just a creepypasta or a meme, because he was an urban legend before this whole game came out. And Slender's not even the first game to come out. There is a game that came out a couple years before Slender, and it was actually called Slender Man. And basically, that's a game that relates to the Marble Hornets videos. Not exactly at all. It has pretty much about the same graphics as Minecraft, but it's actually a better game than Slender is. Basically, you get out of your car broke down, you're in a dark street, and you go to this house, and these Slender people and these Slender Man starts following you, and you watch videotapes and look at signs on how to get to Slender Man, and the fun part is you can kill him. You can get a pistol and kill him. And yeah, so stuff like that. I actually tried the game. I mean, it's a fun, better game than Slender is, but it's not as fun as Slender, if that makes sense. I just think the graphics make Slender a better game, and it's also scarier than Slender Man is. Slender is really a scary game. I mean, to me, I can play it with no emotion. First time I played it, thought it was boring as hell, but it is a good game, I guess. And also they have new games, Slender Sanitarium and Slender Hospice. Sanitarium is where you're in a sanitarium, and Hospice is another version where you're in a hospital. I think I covered most stuff about Slender Man. Not everything, because I'm not going to make this video long as hell, but basically the next Slender Man video we'll be talking, I'll actually have Martin with me, I believe. We'll be talking about actually Marble Hornets, and we'll be showing you a couple quick previews and clips from their videos, documenting whether Slender Man is real or fake, stuff like that. So anyways, I'm hoping this video will get kind of a lot of views, because Slender Man's been popular, but hey, if it doesn't, I don't really give a crap. So anyways, like and subscribe if you want to become a LTB boss today, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching Slender Man. Conspiracies, creepypastas, whatever. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.